I'm going to try to make a kick wheel for pottery. So this is a water heater catch pan or drain pan that has a 180-pound bag of concrete in it. So I think it was 12 bucks, 10 bucks for the drain pan and 4 bucks for the concrete. This is a thrift store bike. Old Tabitha is going to help us out with this. So I'm going to cut this bottom bracket off, use the cranks bearing set as our main bearing underneath the kick wheel part, our weight. I paid 3 bucks for this bike at the thrift store, and let's chop it up. I had some scrap laying around. This is an old stand from a patio umbrella, so I'm going to use that. You could use some regular box tube. So I kind of have this mount or this base going on here. So I like the way this fits. What I'm going to do is chop the cranks right here. That way I can take the bearing apart here and pull it out through the top if I need to do any maintenance or greasing, greasing or anything. I like how it's making contact here and here and here. So I might just cut this off here, cut the chain stays, and cut the main tube here and weld this all together. Got these base pieces welded up here, chopped up the frame. I decided to go ahead and pull the bearing out so I can get it cleaned up, greased, and while I have it out, I'm going to go ahead and attach the crank axle, I guess, to this piece of plywood, which will mount under the cement just to give it some more support. So I cut the cranks off here and here, and I drilled 5 holes, and I will attach the sprocket to this piece of wood. Just a quick view of the welds here. So I just basically burn this in here, a couple welds underneath, around the seat post tube, down here on chainstay, welded that in. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, especially with most of the weight. I mean, with the weight being here, it'll be pushing down. So it's not like these welds are attaching or holding the weight. They're just holding it in place while the weight is rested on the cross members. I think it'll work. Bottom view. It's a little tight right now, but I think it'll loosen up, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Alright, so I took my angle grinder with the hard disc on it and just spun this manually and put the grinder on there to kind of give it some texture for the adhesive. So I'm going to put some liquid nails, spread it all around this piece of wood, and then I'll set the water heater drain pan that's full of concrete on top of this, and then I could spin it while the adhesive is still wet and get it centered. So I don't want my weight, the concrete weight, to be wobbling around, doing this while you're kicking it. So I figured instead of mechanically attaching it with fasteners, I would put an adhesive and then I can center it while it's sitting on top of here. Alright, so I added a couple pieces of pipe here and some larger diameter pipe, piece of wood, piece of foam with some felt on it that I had laying around for a seat, and it'll be adjustable. I'll drill some holes in the smaller pipe so that it can go up and down. I spun it and kind of made some marks to center it right here, so we'll get that plate mounted right there. I took my centering lines and I marked out my pipe flange here. Some might call this a floor mount. I'm not sure. But so anyway, drilled it, attached it with the concrete anchors. Got an 18-inch piece of 1/2-inch pipe. What I'm going to do, I'd rather have a pillow block, of course, but I'm doing this on the cheap. So I just found something that's got a pretty close ID of the OD of that 1/2-inch pipe. So this is just I guess a coupler, a PVC coupler, and it fits pretty good. So a little bit of slop there, you can see it, but I think it'll work. Especially for just a kick wheel. It's not motorized, we're not spinning high RPMs, and like I say, of course I would like to have a pillow block, but I think this will work. I welded up a couple, I guess, J-shaped pieces of old fence pipe there. Just tacked them in, and I'm going to cut some wood and bring it across here. A little flat black paint. So we got our 2 boards here, secured to the bottom. And I'm kind of a semicircle. What I have left over is some wood scrap about the diameter of the drain pan. So I'll put that on next. Lay some glue down and glue the drain pan. Alright, I got a oil drain pan glued down here. Put on my other pipe flange or floor attachment, I guess. So what I did is I bought this old frying pan. I took the handle off. I think I'm gonna, this is spot welded in, so I'll cut this off, but I think that I really wanted this this textured surface for the clay to stick to. So what I'm gonna do is just rough this up and put some adhesive in there and attach it to there. We'll see how it goes. Alright, well, we're just waiting for the adhesive to dry. Added a little decoration here, so I masked this off with some masking tape, shot it with flat black, pulled the tape, did some cool little ornamental designs on there, some drill bit and some paints, and then epoxied the pan, the drain pan, and then epoxied the frying pan upside down. And